In this video, we're going to be going over how to find your target audience and how to utilize that information so you can better market and sell to them, and in turn lower your ad cost, increase your actual conversion rate, and just lower how much your customer acquisition cost is as well. So I'm going to jump in and show you how you can do this for any product or service. So there's a couple steps to this process. Now, the first thing we really need to do here is to answer a couple questions about our product or service. And these are questions that you need to be able to answer if you want to be able to sell your product. If you can't answer these, then you might have the wrong product or service here. So first thing we need to ask is, what problem is it solving, or what benefit is it bringing to someone? So for the example I'm going to be using today, I'm going to be using something like a robot vacuum. So a little Roomba, those type of things. So what I need to ask is, what problem is it solving, or what benefit is it bringing? And you need to answer these so we can understand our target audience and get that information a little bit better. So what problem is it solving or benefit? Well, the benefit is you don't have to vacuum. Maybe it's better than a standard vacuum. It's completely autonomous. You might not have to pay for someone to clean your house because you can have this vacuum running. So a couple different benefits. Maybe it reaches the harder to reach spots like under beds where you can't get with a normal vacuum without moving furniture. So a lot of different problems it's solving or benefits it's bringing. And the question you then need to ask is, who has this problem? So who has a problem with having to vacuum, with maybe reaching the hard to reach spots? So I need to think, okay, who has this problem? This is going to be people who are cleaning houses. So that could be commercial, maybe it's cleaning ladies, but this is probably more focused on the individual who's cleaning their house. So I probably want to look at homeowners, people who are renting possibly could fit into that as well, anyone who needs to clean their home. Now, if I take a step further down, who is normally cleaning houses? Is it going to be a male? Is it going to be a female? What age are they? So in general, we're going to say people who are cleaning a home, that is who has this problem, people who are cleaning their house. And we'll leave it general for now, and we'll break it down a little bit more as we go through. And then we need to look at, who are my competitors? Who are the competitors for a robot vacuum? I can do this by searching things like Amazon or just going to Google. We all know the name Roomba, so that's a pretty popular one. If I look on Amazon, it looks like Eufy is one of the big competitors in this area as well. And I could just scroll through and go through Amazon and say, okay, these are all my competitors, go through Google and make a little bit of a list. But it looks like Eufy and Shark seem to be some of the popular ones. So I'll say those are really my two main competitors. And then we're going to start to gather a little bit more information. If we feel like we don't know exactly who our target audience is, we can look at what our competitors are doing. Things like, what are they doing on social media? What is the verbiage that they're using? Are they trying to appeal to a certain type of audience? You can also look at their Facebook ad library, which I'll show you. This tool, you can type in either a brand or you can type in a singular product here. So if I were to type in robot vacuum here in search, and this is just facebook.com/ads/library, and you'll be able to see anything that comes up for the robot vacuum here. And if I filter over here, I can look at all advertisers, or I can come down and see Eufy right here. We saw that was a big one. I'm going to click on them, and then I'm only going to see ads from them. And I can choose if it's active or inactive. So we'll just say active for now, see what comes up. I'm going to apply, and it will show me all ads that this company is running. So we can see they have a robot mower as well, a little different than what we're looking for. But right here, they have a couple different ads, and I could click in and look at this actual information here and see if they're targeting any certain type of person with these actual ads. So let's say Amazon, by yourself, how well it performs, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't look like they have any specific person they're targeting here. And you can always click in and see a little bit more details of this ad summary and go a little bit deeper, or even click into their page from here and it'll bring you to their actual Facebook or Instagram page. And we can see some more information, look at their different products and info as well. Looks like they are targeting in this one, probably people around their 30s right here. Looks like they own a home. This one's for a mower, so maybe a little different than their actual vacuums here. And if you go over to their product photos, this can be a great way to get a little bit more information. Again, we saw these two already. If we go down, we can see, looks like they're targeting right here. We have man, probably around 30s to 40s, cleaning his house. If we go down a little bit more, do we have anyone else? Looks like we have pets here. So it looks like a lot of pets, dogs, cats. Go down. Do we see anything else here? Looks like a parent with a kid. Again, they have a male here. It looks like they're targeting males a little bit more. Toys on the ground with another kid again, and a pet. So pets seem like a very strong aspect of what they're selling here. Almost all of these have a pet, most have a kid. And if we scroll through, we can keep seeing it looks like they're targeting people around 25 to 40 that have their own home. Maybe they're renting, have a pet, and some have kids as well. So, and if you look, it looks like a lot of them are like spending time, have activities like a guitar. So it looks like they're getting their time back as well. So maybe saving time is a pain point or something with them. So you can look through here to really try and find who they're actually targeting. And we can also go over to places like Amazon or Google Shopping and see some of these products and see what they're selling, if they have any images. So again, this is that Eufy brand. They look like one of the biggest competitors here. If I go into their product images, I can see if they have any specific people in here. Again, looks like they have a couple, 25 to 40, I'd say, and they have a pet. So pets look extremely large in this space. And one of the biggest selling points they have, again, pets, some kids products on the ground and whatnot. So that can be something we can utilize to help understand who our target audience is by looking at the Facebook ad library, their social media, and different product listings. Now, when it comes to demographics and psychographics, this is how we're going to create a target customer. So just an example avatar, and we can go through and we'll fill out some information about this audience. So for example, we said it looks like their age range is about 25 to 40 here. Now, when it comes to the gender, we did see both male and female, but it looks like they are targeting males a little bit more, but I feel like it's both. We can't just go off one competitor. So I'm going to say it's both genders here. Location, this necessarily doesn't have a specific location, but we'll just keep it in the US for right now. Education, this is one where you don't need this when you're trying to figure out the demographic of every audience, but if it is relevant, it can be helpful. This type of product, I don't think an education is necessarily going to be more important to sell for one person than the other. So we're going to leave this one blank right here, which is fine. When it comes to income, we're going to say it's on the mid to high end range. People who don't have a lot of money or probably just have a very cheap vacuum. They're not upgrading their vacuum constantly. They don't care as much about the autonomous or can't afford it. So we'll say around the $75,000 a year plus mark. And all of this will help us when we go into Facebook and Meta and Instagram advertising as well. Then we have interests. Now the interests here, you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt because it doesn't sound super interesting, but there's always interests around this type of demographic. Doesn't necessarily have to be the specific product, but things like keeping your house clean, maybe home decor or decorating, housekeeping, interior design, things around having a nice and clean home. Again, we saw pets a lot, so maybe we even put pets in here as an interest because we did see a lot of that. So that can be something we look at. Again, this won't be for every demographic, so maybe I want to make a separate customer profile for someone who has a pet versus someone who doesn't, and maybe a separate one for someone who has kids as well. So I'm going to leave pets out of this one. And then we have additional info. So what might be helpful to know? Again, I just put they have a pet. A lot of times we saw dogs. We saw a couple cats. They can be homeowners. They don't necessarily have to be. So maybe I have an angle for someone who owns a home. They sometimes can be parents here as well. A lot of times we saw kids in those ads. So that might be another area I'd add to my general demographic or a separate customer profile. And then we need to look at the psychographics. So psychographics are pretty much what is their goal or what are the benefits they're looking for in this product? What pain points do they have? And those pain points normally go hand in hand with the goals. The goals are to solve those pain points 99% of the time. And then we have the preferred channels they hang out in. So their goal, someone who would buy a robot vacuum like this, would probably be to have a cleaner house. Maybe since it's autonomous, they want to save their own time. They're tired of vacuuming. Maybe they hurt their back bending over, moving furniture to try and vacuum. So maybe improve health. Have to expand on that a little bit. Maybe they just want a better vacuum. Maybe something with stronger suction, can pick up their pet hair, etc. So I could even put cleaning pet hair in here as well. And then what are their pain points? Like I said, it's a lot of times it's easier to start with the pain points. So maybe their current vacuum doesn't have strong enough suction. It's not picking up the pet hair. It leaves the house dirty. And that goes straight into it's leaving the house dirty. Maybe they don't have time to clean. They're a busy person. They want that autonomous work. The pet hair isn't getting picked up. Maybe the brush isn't good, the suction isn't strong enough, they can't clean hard to reach areas, or they have to move furniture around, maybe their current vacuum is loud. These are all different pain points someone can have who has a vacuum they don't want or is just using a normal vacuum. And I would then go change these goals or my product benefits, things that I would use for copywriting, my product sales, marketing messages, content creation, or even developing the product further. I would use all this information to utilize all this from that customer avatar. So if I was writing copy, you can probably see directly on Amazon, a lot of these pain points and the benefits are going to be directly on these Google and Amazon listings. Again, you have it in the title, hands-free cleaning. They mention their brush, powerful suction, maybe the battery, the navigation can be things as well. We can see they really hit on the suction power. It auto empties itself. It can clean the edge well. So there's a lot of things they're hitting on. And if I go down, again, you'll see self-emptying, powerful suction. It can hit the corners with this arm, laser navigation. It's small enough and can reach hard to reach areas. Again, things that are going to solve a lot of these different pain points. And you can do this with physical products. You can do this with services, but it's going to help you be able to create all this information. And if you're struggling to find the pain points or the goals or benefits, then you might have a product that is not worth really selling. It might not sell well because you need to be able to solve a problem with 99% of products and services. If you're not doing that or bringing some benefit, then the product is pretty much useless. If you're having trouble finding this information, looking at your competitors can be extremely helpful. And then we have our preferred channels here. So where does this person hang out? Now, again, we're looking at someone 25 to 40, both genders in the USA, making $75,000 plus a year, and just wants to keep their house clean. A lot of them have pets or kids. So where are they hanging out? Usually Facebook and Instagram is going to be pretty general for most areas. We can look at things like TikTok, Twitter, etc. And what you can do is, let's say I want to use this brand, for example. I'm going to go find their social medias, which I'm guessing are on their website. So I'm just going to go over to their website, and usually at the bottom right here, we have Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We'll open all of these and say, do they have a big following here? Are they putting out a lot of content on these platforms? They have a lot of posts. They have a good amount of followers. How long ago are they putting out content? 1 day ago, 2 days ago. So they might put out content daily, it looks like. So they're pretty active on Instagram, which we would probably assume Instagram and Facebook. 97,000 followers. Again, we know they're running ads. They're putting out content almost daily on these platforms. Then we can look at X or Twitter, and we can see they have a lot of posts. Now, this is not going to be a huge following on here. A lot of times these are just quick little updates, and we can see they haven't posted since 2023. So they are not very active on Twitter at all. So maybe a lot of people aren't using X or Twitter here to follow this platform. So where are these people hanging out? This can be Facebook groups, TikTok, etc. And I would search up any relevant keywords on those platforms, looking for content, or look at the bigger platforms, the bigger competitors, and see, are they putting out content? Do they spend a lot of time here? What's their marketing message on those? Maybe they have multiple target audiences. So once you have all this information, it becomes very easy to create your product copy, to run any ads. So we can do a lot more targeted ads when we come in and start using this information for Meta, Facebook, Instagram ads. Again, that's where they're hanging out anyway. So you're able to use this for a lot of different pieces of information, building that product listing, just understanding your target audience and how to talk to them, sell to them, what they're looking for and what they want to solve. And that should really help with conversion rates and just lowering your customer acquisition cost and just increasing your conversion even on sales pages. So that is how you can find your target audience for any product or service.
Need extra help with your marketing or social media? Well, utilize our free marketing resources like our social media blueprint ebook or our 150 social media post ideas. You can grab these free resources in the description below.